Hello students, welcome you all for the course of MBA Semester 3 Human Relations and Legal Framework. Today is our lecture number 17 and the topic of our today's discussion is misconduct. So the objective of our today's session is help to understand the concept of misconduct and its related provisions under some acts of labor laws. So the contents of our today's program specifically concerning the misconduct are okay the misconduct itself, its definition, acts and omission as misconduct. So which particular activities which are conducted and considered as misconduct specifically, types of misconduct and penalties for misconduct. So in general, misconduct means any kind of unacceptable behavior by any particular employee or the group of employees of an organization. So when we are talking about any sort of misbehavior, any type of activity which are wrongfully or willfully conducted by any particular employee, which can hamper the activities of the organization, and it is also mentioned in the standing order, according to the Standing Order Act. So that activities can be considered as misconduct. So any act or omission on the part of the employee which is a breach of any duty, obligation or assignment arising under or flowing from any law or contract of employment or service rules or standing order, settlement or award or improper conduct or wrongful behavior is a misconduct. So it is quite remembered over here that so any sort of behavior, whatever has been obligatory and mandatory to that particular employee on the duty which was assigned and mentioned in the standing order or contract of that particular employment, that activities can be conducted appropriately, but which are not according to certain particular aspects which are wrong in nature, which can hamper the overall industrial relations in that particular industrial enterprise, and it has been mentioned in the standing order, or the contract of the employment, generally it is called as a improper conduct of that particular employee. That improper conduct is called as misconduct. So when we are talking about this misconduct, so there will be called as an act and omissions on the part of the employee. So there will be different types of activities which should be considered as a misconduct, which shall be conducted by that particular employee, and it is mentioned in the model standing order. This is called as a model standing order. In this certified standing order, which should be certified by the certifying officer, and as the case may be, then annul, invoke the disciplinary procedure. So whatever process has been there, which should be mentioned in the standing order to resolve that particular form of misconduct, that should be mentioned along with some disciplinary procedure against that particular employee, and it has to be mentioned in the model standing order which is certified by the certifying officer. It is needless to say that no disciplinary action can be taken for any act or omission which is not a misconduct. Any particular simple form of matters against which any sort of disciplinary action has not been taken, that could not be considered as a part of misconduct. So it may be so happen that a case certifying standing order for given establishment may contain some additional item which can be called as a misconduct, okay, as are not enlisted in the model standing order, and in such case alone action of such act of misconduct will be possible. Now it depends on what has been mentioned in the model standing order, okay, whatever has been certified in the standing order by the certifying officer. So whatever form of provision has been made to considered as a part of the misconduct by that particular employee in particular establishment, that should be considered as only the part of the misconduct. All other activities will not be considered, okay, as misconduct over here. So in general we are talking about any sort of improper behavior or unacceptable behavior or misbehavior with any other person of an organization, either with the co-employee or with his superior, okay, or his senior, okay. In that case it should be considered as misconduct. So according to the Industrial Employment Standing Order Act 1946, so there is a called as a Schedule 1 and Clause 14 and subsection Clause 3. So provision has been made to which will define the acts and omissions with respect to that misconduct, okay, that activities will be constituted as misconduct. So there were several activities, okay, which are described under this clause 14.3 of Schedule 1 of this Industrial Employment Standing Order Act 1946, that will be considered as the misconduct, and some sort of procedure has been mentioned, okay, against which, okay, what form of misconduct has been taken, so what disciplinary action would be taken, that should be mentioned in that standing order with respect to that particular organization. So it will also indicate generally the procedure for proceeding against the employee involved in the misconduct. So some sort of procedure has been also mentioned in that standing order. When we are talking about acts and omissions of misconduct, okay, we are dividing these acts and omission on the basis of types of misconduct. So there will be generally two types of misconduct, okay, which can be conducted by the individual employees or group of employees within the organization intentionally or unintentionally. So first type of misconduct are called as minor misconduct and another one is called as major misconduct. So let us see the minor misconduct first. The first one is late coming, okay, late coming on the job, specifically that will affect the production process. Absence from the duty without leave, okay, particularly for a period of less than 6 days, okay, so without notifying the respective higher authorities, taking unnecessary leaves and keeping themselves absent from the job on the job, okay. Loitering, gossiping, okay, in the department during the working hours, so unnecessary gossiping and exchange of some sort of information, okay, that could be considered over as a part of misconduct. Failure to wear tight clothes and specified uniform, okay, whatever form of uniform or clothes has been provided, okay, particularly for safety purposes, that are not implemented, okay, during the production process, in that case that should be treated as a misconduct. Negligence of duties or neglect of any kind of work or any of the ignorance with respect to particular job or work which was assigned to that particular employee, which can be considered as the minor misconduct. So these are all whatever form of acts and omissions, okay, supposed to be there, these are treated as minor misconduct. Then major misconducts, okay, the list is quite big over here in case of major misconducts. So generally in case of major misconducts we will find out some different sort of activities which can be considered as a misbehavior, okay, by means of that particular employee. So generally there will be willful insubordination or disobedience of any lawful or reasonable order of the superior. If the order of the superior has not been followed, okay, there will be an insubordination or disobedience by that particular employee to follow the order of that higher authorities. Going on an illegal strike, okay, abetting, inciting and instigation with respect to that particular strike. So participating in any illegal form of activity, particularly strike, that can be considered as a misconduct. Willful showing down in the performance in the work or instigation thereof. So continuous slowing down the performance of that particular employee, that can be also considered as misconduct. Theft, fraud, dishonesty, okay, with respect to any particular employer, okay, in that particular business or property, okay, conducting some sort of theft over there or fraud over there, okay, that can be considered as a misconduct. Taking or giving bribes or any illegal gratification, so any sort of illegal activity, okay, taking some bribe or offering some money to anybody else on behalf of any sort of work, okay, that is to be completed over there, so that should be considered as unfair practices even also, okay, which could be considered as a misconduct. Habitual absenteeism from the workplace, okay, more than 10 consecutive days, okay, as compared to their sanction leaves, which can be considered as a misconduct. Habitual breach of any standing order, if there is a breach of contract or any breach of any standing orders, okay, with respect to that particular establishment, even that is also considered as a misconduct. Collection without permission of the manager or any money within the premises of the establishment. So nobody has been enabled over here, okay, with the permission of the management, they can collect any sort of money from the employees. So that can be even considered as a misconduct. Engaging in trade within the premises of the establishment, conducting some business activity without the permission of the management of the organization, okay. Drunkenness, okay, riotness, okay, disorderly, indecent behavior on the premises of the establishment. So somebody has drunk over there on the employment places over there, okay, not obeying any kind of instruction from the higher authorities, or any kind of indecent behavior or abusing, okay, that can be considered as a misconduct. Commission on any aspects, okay, subversive of discipline, rude behavior on the premises of the establishment. So either it is a rude behavior or any sort of indiscipline, okay, or means showing disrespect to some other employees or co-employees or their higher authorities, even that can be considered as a misconduct. Habitual neglect of any work or habitual negligence, so continuous negligence with respect to the work, that can be also considered as a misconduct in that particular industrial establishment. So this, the list is quite big, okay, so we were listed here nearly 22 type of major misconducts, okay. So at 13 number, canvassing from union membership, okay, to collect the certain type of fund, okay, from the members within the premises of the establishment. So none other than activity with respect to the work, okay, that can be entertained in the organization. So any kind of canvassing, okay, with respect to collection of funds to create a maximum membership within a trade union, that could not be entertained over here. Willful damage to the work, okay, in process or any property of the establishment. So one cannot damage the property of that particular establishment, or there will not be any type of work that will damage the processes of the organization, either production processes, so that will hamper the overall working of an enterprise, okay, and simultaneously that will hamper the good industrial relation in the enterprise. Holding meeting inside the premises of the establishment without the permission of the manager, so one cannot hold any type of meetings with any of the employees, okay, without disclosing the manager. Disclosing any unauthorized person any information, okay, in regard to the process of establishment. So there will be always some sort of secrecy with respect to the processes in that particular organizations, particularly production process, okay, ingredients in the production, okay, one cannot directly disclose to any of the person, so action would be taken against them. Gambling within the premises of the establishment, so this will be a serious act over here in case of misconduct, okay, which cannot be considered. Smoking or spitting on the premises of the establishment, okay, that will be strictly prohibited. Failure to observe safety instruction notified the employer or interference with the safety devices. So whatever safety devices has been provided to the employee, they need to wear that safety devices, or whatever form of clothes has been provided to them, and also follow the safety instructions provided by the safety officer. Distributing and exhibiting within the premises of the establishment and bills, pamphlets and posters. So one cannot conduct any kind of political activity over here by means of distributing some bills, pamphlet and poster, and just to catch the attention of the employees from the production process, that will cause to certain type of accidents. Refusal to accept a charge sheet, order or other communication showed as an accordance with the standing order. If any of the employee, those who are not accepting the order, okay, with respect to whatever form of communication which has been made in the standing order, okay, and the employee is refusing over there, in that case the action would be taken against employee, okay, under the form of misconduct. Any sort of unauthorized possession of lethal weapon, okay, in the establishment. So any kind of weapon that one cannot bring, okay, at the industrial premises, they are being strictly prohibited, okay, that will cause to many of the such things, okay, that will be not legally suitable for any organization, which can be considered as a misconduct. So these are the acts and omissions, okay, that are specified in our Industrial Standing Order Act 1947, okay, and that is also called as types of misconduct. So here we have recently seen major and minor misconducts. Then later on we came to know about the penalties, okay. So whatever form of misconduct has been done with respect to that particular employee, so if suppose the employee is feeling guilty with respect to that particular misconduct, okay, then the issues can be resolved internally within an organization just by conducting a very small inquiry, okay. But where the allegations of misconduct against the workman are minor in nature, okay, suppose any kind of misconduct which are minor in nature, so it will be either verbally discussed with the help of the manager or industry relation manager, and the issue can be resolved very easily. The manager and his authorized representative, after hearing the concerned workman, will decide the workman deserves any punishment, and if so, pass orders accordingly. If there is a sort of certain form of major misconduct, okay, which has been committed by any of the employee, so the manager and whoever the maintenance manager or production manager or plant manager, they will decide, okay, is there any possibility that okay, that worker could be get punished, okay, because of his misconduct. So if so, pass orders accordingly. So finally identifying, okay, whatever the loss would be supposed to be there with the help of with that particular form of misconduct, it is not necessary to hold inquiry in such cases. So particularly in minor misconduct, okay, there is no possibility of any kind of domestic inquiries over there. But in some major misconducts, okay, by a particular employee, okay, there will be a possibility of conducting a domestic inquiry, and so as to take some disciplinary action against these employees. So penalties are imposed for good and sufficient reason if the employee found guilty of major misconduct. So it is to be quite necessary to have some major fault, okay, which should be occurred, okay, and considered as a major misconduct, and against which some sort of penalties are being imposed with that particular employee. So there will be different sort of penalties are being supposed to be there. So there will be a warning, okay, warning letter has been issued over there. There will be censor, okay, some particular aspects with respect to their perks and other benefits, okay, that could be stopped, okay. Withholding the increment, okay, withholding the increment, their increment should be stopped. Then fine would be imposed on them. Stopping their promotion, their further promotions will stop, okay. They would be demoted, okay, demotion would be there. There will be possibility of suspension, discharge, dismissal, and as well as vacation of the company quarter, the complete quarter, okay, the employees are being forced to take the leave, okay, or they will be on vacation, or any other punishment which the manager may deem fit. Now it depends on the form of that particular form of misconduct the employee has committed. So depending on that, okay, the manager of the organization, that they will define, okay, whether the uh, misconduct is major or minor, and whether it is necessary to carry out any domestic inquiry. Okay, if the employee has made any sort of major misconduct, their charge sheet will be filed, okay, and some disciplinary action would be taken against that particular employee. So these are the penalties against any sort of misconduct which are being committed by that particular employee. So that's all for our today's session. Thank you very much, and we will continue in the next session.